I quietly quit my last job and I acted my wage, but why? Well, in today's video, I'm going to deep dive all the reasons I was actively, quietly quitting my job for years, in fact, until I was able to leave to go full-time into my business. And I'm going to explain the reasons why I do endorse it. I do think it's a good thing because there is so much wrong with the corporate world, with the 9 to 5 that still hasn't been sorted, to which I'm going to highlight in this video. And I hope it wakes you up, because that's the purpose. I want you to think slightly different and actually take a step back and think, are you giving too much of yourself? And the people around you, like your children and your partner, are they missing out because you're giving too much away in the workplace? Well, I hope in this video it really does get you thinking. Now, what is quiet quitting? Well, essentially it's mentally checking out from the job. It's doing all the tick box exercises, fulfilling the contracted role, but not going above and beyond. And that's actually fine, by the way. Like my video, last one in, first one out. It's fine. You're doing the job and you're going home. But we know many employers don't like that. They want you to fit in with the culture of going above and beyond without being paid for it, I might add, which is nuts. And that's not the way you should be doing it. Now, is it good or bad? Well, if you look online, you've got two sides of the coin. There's people saying, oh, it's lazy, you shouldn't be like that. If you're going into a job, then you should be putting in maximum effort. Now, maybe we've believed that, or our parents did for years and years, right? Decades, in fact. But really, look what happened. Anxiety, depression, loss of hair, stress, missing out on memories, making memories with children, and being snappy at your partner was a result of you giving 100% to a company that just makes you redundant, gets rid of you, right? There's so much backwards with giving all of yourself to a company that isn't even yours. And I do have a problem with that, right? So why are we seeing this huge movement of quiet quitting just all over the internet and actually taking place within the workplace? And I am one of those individuals that did do that. I had a bigger picture. I wanted to design my life, as many of you know. I didn't want to be in employment. I wasn't comfortable asking someone for holiday. I wanted to be able to go on holiday at any given moment, and I wanted control of that. So I had to go through a process of quietly quitting until I was able to leave. So that was my process. But people are getting fed up of being gaslit. Being told that there's more on the horizon for them, that there's pay rises on the way, and that they're going to have a really bright career, and it never comes to life, never happens. Right? They're just led up the garden path. Happens all the time. Pressured to do more when it's not in their contracted role. Someone leaves or they get managed out of a company and you're left to pick up the slack. No one's paying you any extra, but they expect you to do it. And people are getting fed up and they're going, hang on a minute, why am I doing all this extra work? I'm not valued, I'm not respected, I'm not being paid more for it, but now there's this expectation because I covered someone for a week, or I covered that particular job role because they've now left or they were fired. No one said a word to me and I'm still doing all their job roles. And now I've made a rod for my own back. And people are putting their foot down going, actually, this doesn't sit well with me. But why did I quietly quit? And I think a lot of these reasons are going to resonate with you, right? I've written down 10. I've got plenty more, but I'm going to hit 10 here. Now, I've seen firsthand or experienced the reasons that I'm going to go through now, right? And luckily for me, this happened in my 20s. So I had my light bulb moment in my early 20s when my son came into my life. And although I've always been very entrepreneurial and I've been very outspoken and I kind of always wanted to do my own thing, it just became very apparent early on to me in my early 20s that I wasn't okay with this. And I was in a very busy company that I could just see they have no respect for people. Like, we are numbers. We are just bodies in a cog, in a system, and at any given moment we could be made redundant or got rid of. I just became very aware of that. Some of you and people who reach out to me are in your 30s and 40s, and now you're having your wake up moment and you're like, oh my God, where's my life gone? Well, it's never too late, by the way, to change your life or to get another job or to start a business. So number one, for me, I respected myself too much from an early age to give all of my energy to someone else. And I think this came from having my son, just as I was turning 20, So I had this beautiful light bulb moment of, oh my God, the world isn't just about me. And it's certainly not about a company that doesn't respect or value me. It's about him. And I really wanted to spend as much time with him and see him grow up. And so I needed to make moves. I needed to start building something for myself. And it takes energy and time. And my God, building a business is one of the hardest things you'll ever do, or trying to escape the 9 to 5, you know, the slavery wage, right? It's hard. So I needed to conserve my energy, and I wasn't prepared in my early 20s to give all of my time and energy as I saw some co-workers doing. Coming in early, leaving late, looking at me like I was the odd one out. People were looking at me and saying to me, oh, you're not staying? No, I'm going home to my family. Like the people I want to be with. The only I wanted to say to them, I did say to some of them, the only reason I'm here is because I have bills to pay. I'm not here because I want to do extra work with you and stay here when everything's closing up and not be paid for it. Come on. So that was the thing. I respected myself too much. And I was just aware I was a number. I think that played on me. I just knew that I was replaceable. Some of you are still in denial about it. I know many people who go against my content and say, oh, you know, don't listen to him. I think they're in denial. You're still a number. It doesn't matter how many promotions you've had. If the company is not performing financially, guess what? They're making cuts. I mean, what was it, Meta, that got rid of like 10,000 jobs? Just gone, okay? Number 2, hard workers are used and abused. And Joe, my editor, if you can just pop up the thumbnail of my last video, which just went viral, it just absolutely popped. Hard workers are used and abused. You should check out that video. I'll put it towards the end of this one. It's totally true. The horse that is willing to carry the heaviest load will always get the heaviest load. And believe me, I was not the guy willing to carry the heaviest load. For my own company and building my own thing and for my own family, for sure, give it to me. But for someone else's, no, I'm not prepared to do the biggest workload, take on all the projects. I've seen it too many times. I was sitting in meetings where they're discussing everything that's changing about the company, and you'd have some manager sitting there at the top talking about all the numbers and the forecasting and what's happening next year, and you know, talking about it like it's their company. And I used to find it embarrassing, to be honest with you. And you know, people were fake laughing and oh yeah, you know. And then when they'd be like, oh, there's a new project coming up, who wants it? I used to look around the room and people would put their hand up for the project, and I'm looking at them thinking, you numpty, you are bent over a barrel and you have not got a clue about it, and you're going to be taking on all this extra work. You're not going to get paid for it, and the likelihood is I can still do minimal, just do my job role, and I'm more likely to get a promotion than you as long as I go and I brown nose the right manager at the right time. And here you are taking on all these projects, and it looks stupid and it's embarrassing, right? And that is just a classic case of being used and abused. The hardest worker never gets off the shop floor because they know that they can fall on that person, they can lean on them, and they can give them everything and it'll all get done. Okay, you can go check out that previous video. It'll explain it very clearly. Steve and Anna, I bet you've got one in your workplace. Mental health effects. So this is point number 3. Burnout. This is so real. I cannot tell you how many people in my last job that were literally on antidepressants, had anxiety, panic attacks, loss of hair, putting on weight. They weren't looking after themselves. They're coming in talking about all the arguments they're having at home, snapping at their children. Oh, the kids are a nightmare. And actually, on reflection, really, let's break it down. You're giving too much to the company. You're too financially dependent on this company. You're in survival mode. You're reactive. You're not proactive. And you've got so deep within the company now, you can't back away from it. And your mental health is now taking its toll. And as a result, the people that you love the most and that you originally got this job for are now suffering. And I hope this hits home for some of you. Think about it. Are you happy to give 100% energy and time and effort to a company that will not be there for you? But if you're ever diagnosed with a health problem, who are going to be there for you? Your family. I mean, what are you doing all of this for anyway? Again, I think I was just aware of this at such an early age. Like, we go to work to make money because we want to make enough money to then enjoy life with our partners and our children. Is that not what life is about? There's 8 billion people in the world. There's hundreds of countries to explore and travel around. Why am I going to give everything to a company that could literally be like, oh, we're done with you now, goodbye? And you can deny it all you want. There might be some of you that'll be like, oh no, my company would never do that to me. Well, you're living in cuckoo land, that they get rid of all of you. Any moment they want to. They don't need a reason. Like, there are ways and tactics and devilish things that they can do to get rid of you. Believe that. Now, number 4, just not being present at home. Being in a place where you are so mentally drained, you're not present. When I say that, when you go home, are you having good conversation? Are you being the person that you should be? Are you being a good dad? Are you being a good husband or a wife or a mother? Are you really making memories? Are you taking it all in? Or are you consumed and still worried about your job? Are you still thinking about it? Is it playing on your mind? If so, you're not present. And being in the moment is so important, because the most precious thing that we have is time. It's the most important asset for all of us, is what are we doing with our time? And if you're not valuing it, I can promise you now the company doesn't value your time. They want maximum productivity and they want every ounce of you. They want every bit of energy, which equals you not being present. It was really important for me is that, you know, as you watch children grow up, you really need to take, note of everything that's happening. You really want to remember it, because at any given moment, if you had a health scare, are you going to look back at your life and think, I was there in the moment, I was really there when they needed me most? Or did you spend all your time giving it to the company? So food for thought on that one, right? Quite a deep message, but it's important for me to share that. Number 5, if the company does start to financially suffer, or they go through a company restructure, or they adopt a lot of AI systems and they don't need all their employees and all their staff members, believe me, they will reduce the amount of people that they need and your job role, cut, gone, vamoose. That's the reality. And so many companies now, I'm including myself in this, we are building companies and businesses where you practically don't need any employees, just freelance team members who are remote. Because I have so many people say to me, oh, you talk about last one in, first one out. What about your employees? Well, firstly, I'd never call them employees, number one. And secondly, I do have people that work with me, keyword, but they're all remote. They're all in different countries. They do it on their own time. They work on a laptop and a phone. They have balance. And really, I'm trying to minimize the amount of people that do work with me, because I'm trying to get to a point where my life is so sustainable and cash flow is so high, and profit margins are so high. I mean, I'm in a high profit margin type of business setup anyway, but I don't really want to be working with anyone now, because we're in a world where you can build businesses and you don't really have to have any employees. So people who keep pointing the finger saying, oh, well, do you want your employees to quietly quit? I want to get to the point where I have no employees. That is the way business is going, where you build a business, you automate it and systemize it, and you make maximum profits, and it's only you in the business. That's like ideal scenario. I don't want loads of overheads and employees. Now, number 6, pressurizing you to grow and move within the company and take step-up roles and take on other tasks that aren't within your contracted role, but you're not getting paid for it. I've seen it too many times in my last job. Who wants the step-up role? You're gonna get a chance to take on more responsibility and really show what you can do. And I'd look around, again, it'd be in meetings, and you'd see all these naive youngsters putting up their hands, or they haven't been burnt before, or they're not wise enough and mature enough, they haven't been in the corporate game long enough, or people who are desperate to brown nose, they're putting their hands up, and I'd be thinking, you have no idea, you are signing up to be a dog's body for the next 6 to 12 months, and it is so unlikely you're going to get any promotion. And they might be paid nothing, or they might have an increase. Some of our step-up roles in my last job, they'd pay you 15 to 20p an hour extra, and I'm just like, oh my God. Even people that take overtime and do shift swaps and all this lot. And I was just like, have you not got more going on at home? Are you in such a bad financial position that you need the promotion and the overtime? I just don't get it. I mean, sometimes I think, Aaron, am I the odd one out? Am I the odd one out? But then I think, well, no, I never came from a family of money. I've never had anything given to me. I was just aware that I want to build something so greater for myself. I want to build my own foundations. I don't want to commit and spend more time, time and a half, or, double pay. I just thought my time's worth more than that. I'm worth more than 25 quid an hour, 30 quid an hour. Maybe some of this doesn't resonate with you, and you're like, well, Aaron, I'll jump over overtime anytime they give it to me. Well, that just wasn't me. I wasn't bothered about an extra couple of quid that's going to get taxed anyway, and spending hours upon hours with people that I didn't really care about, and they didn't really care about me. I'd rather be at home with my family. It's like guys when they used to turn around and come into work and say, well, can't wait to get away from the missus and the kids. I used to think, well, why have a missus and have kids? You know, and there'll be some older guys or, you know, guys who turn around to that comment and say, oh, yeah, whatever. Well, it's serious. Why have kids or have a partner if you want to get away from them? I just don't get it. Number 7, PIPs. Performance improvement plans. You can be put on one of these at any point. You could be the highest performing worker, and if a new manager comes in or something changes, or you're a key person of sort of influence, you know, within your job role, and you have sway over people and you're quite a loud person, or you have a backbone and people don't like it, they can just put you on a PIP. They'll be like, well, we haven't really got any dirt on him or her, just put them on a PIP. 6-7 weeks, we'll say that they didn't pass it and then we'll get them out. You can't do anything about it. Well, they tried to put me on a PIP. My old manager, little thing that she was just annoying and quite irritating, and we just didn't see eye to eye, and she was this just irritating graduate manager. And she tried to put me on one. It didn't go down very well, and all of her reasoning never added up. And I just accounted all of it. I went back at her and never got put on a PIP. But she wanted to go down that route, and she tried to get HR involved with things that were just not needed and just silly little things. And she was screen capping conversations that we were having on this, you know, chat system, just trying to get me out. She failed, but she was trying, because we just didn't see eye to eye. Had that have been someone who was mentally weaker than me, they'd have given up and would have fed into the PIP and would have been put through the system, and off you go. So that can happen at any point. I wasn't comfortable with that. Number 8, alter egos and loss of identity, pretending to be a character, fake laughing, you know, pretending to care about the company numbers. I just couldn't fake it. Some people in meetings or these huddles, when managers who are obsessed with the company are announcing numbers and metrics, other people around me could fake it and be like, oh no, we didn't hit metrics. Oh no, we didn't hit the numbers. Oh, company profits are down. Oh no, I'm not gonna sleep tonight. I used to be like, God, you're so cringe. Like, I don't care. I don't care if the company numbers are down, as long as I'm getting paid at the end of the week. I don't care. It's not my company. I'm building my own thing. No one here values me. No one here respects me. No one here respects you or you or you or you. Even the manager talking who sounds like they're obsessed with the company, no one cares about them. Truly. Like, when push comes to shove, all of you are gone anyway. And why are you all here fake laughing? He didn't even, you know, he or she didn't even say something funny, and you got people laughing. I am not like that as a person. I can't pretend to be someone I'm not. But all of these people that are willing and prepared to do it, they end up having like health problems because they go home and they've got this alter ego. They don't even know who they are. Number 9, knowing they can literally get rid of you at any moment annoyed me. Just seeing it time and time again, I'd come in and I'd be like, oh, where's so-and-so? Oh, they got rid of him last night. What? Yeah. Apparently they're on a performance review. Were they? I didn't know that. Yeah. Now they're gone. Oh, they were quite a good worker. You know, they were a good person. They had a family. Yeah, they just got rid of them. Well, that's probably because they had a backbone like me. Interesting. And it was unfair, and it's very political, and it's like a poker game. It's very strategic in how they get rid of people. That never sat well with me, and I was like, yeah, I can't let someone have control over my financial future for me and my family. I need to take some ownership and responsibility here. Can't let this fall in someone else's hands. And then number 10, me personally, I wanted more from life. I truly did. I know too many angry and bitter people who I used to work with in the old job. Even people who I used to work with, they still, you know, lurk in the shadows and they watch my content. And I know there's a lot of people that hate on me that I was able to escape in my 20s, and I haven't had to go back to a job, and I run my full-time businesses. Yes, it's hard, and you know, it never ends, and there's challenges, there's ups and downs, but ultimately I'm living the life that I truly wanted. Like, I've gone for it. You know, taking no risks is the biggest risk of all, and there are many haters out there, but the most important thing is that I haven't become that bitter, regretful, angry person who looks back at my life and thinks, God, why didn't you go for it? Why did you just be such a sub, such a sheep your entire life? You had everything at your fingertips, Aaron. You had all the resources, all the knowledge, all the opportunities in the world. You had the blessing to make more money than you would know what to do with, and you didn't jump at any of it. You were a little bit coward-like, and you just did your job like a good boy. I'd be irritated at myself. I'm not saying that's what you are if you choose to remain in a job, but I feel like that personally. I feel like I would be cowardly if I didn't give it a go, because I'm aware that I can change my entire life. I was aware that I could build a business. I'm aware that we don't live in the 80s and 90s anymore. I don't need to approve a big 60 grand bank loan to start a business. I'm aware that I could start a business with zero capital up front. So I just knew I had to make moves, and I had big reasons why. You know, I wanted to provide a better life for me and my family. Now, horrific stat incoming. This was done by Gallup's. This is the whole point I'm making. Gallup's did a survey last year in 2024 on people that hate their jobs and are dissatisfied and suffering with different mental health issues. And it was 77% of global working adults that hate their jobs. That's 2.62 billion people globally on a survey done by Gallup's do not like their jobs for all different reasons. They want out, but they don't. Low self-esteem now, lack of confidence, just a shadow of a person, loss of identity, suppressed, no energy, burnt out. It's never too late, but you need to take action. I also want to do my part in trying to inspire you and guide you on how this could be a real thing for you, because escaping the 9 to 5, it sounds gimmicky, like we all hear it online, I say it, but it's kind of, that's how you say it, right? Getting out of a job and building something for yourself. Well, Joe, if you can pop it above my face, I have a full course tutorial on how to quit your job and build an online business, a legitimate business which is sustainable and generates you cash flow to the point where you could replace your salary. Get back 180 hours to spend on you and your family, and that will be available to watch again at the end of this video, along with workers who are used and abused. I am rooting for every single one of you. Let me know in the comments if this resonated. Are you quiet quitting? If so, why? But more so, what's the plan? What are you moving on to? What's the plan if you leave? Go on to build your own thing. That's what I'm an advocate for, is taking control of your life, designing it opposed to being assigned one. I'm wishing you all the best. If you haven't subscribed and you'd like to do so, amazing. And if you did like this video, please do hit the like button and subscribe if you'd like to. Until next time, I am rooting for every single one of you, and I'll see you all soon. Peace.